Welcome to another episode of the continuing saga of the desert style Karmann Ghia. Last couple of weeks we've been doing quite a bit of driving this car and small miscellaneous type details. More than anything, we've been out here on these back roads here along the Mason-Dixon line, and we've been hitting the roads, doing 25, 30 miles here, 50 miles there, and just beating the heck out of it. One thing you might notice is that paint's coming off. Well, what happened is, if you had seen previously, our paint job around the headlights and everything was kind of wonky, and so Sweet Anna Tucker and I undid the headlights and all that, and we taped this off here, and we thought we would repaint it, and that has been kind of a downer in the sense that the paint came off, but at the same time it's an opportunity because we're going to essentially retain the artwork, but we're going to redo the artwork and try to make it a little bit more our own. As you can see, some of the stripes are showing through on the door and the back quarter panel. We'll redo those. We're going to redo this dog print, which if you watched our first video, you'd know more about. But been doing a lot of little things. We'll show you those in the video. This video, we're also going to try to make these headlights adjustable. If you kind of look, that one's kind of pointing one direction and this one's pointing another direction, and the reason is the rubber pieces are bad and non-existent, kind of held in with tape, and so we're going to try to fix that today. Bondo, Betty, and I have made it back from our drive, and I want to show you a couple more things that we've done recently before we get started. I've added a piece of carpet. This was a throw rug that we had that we were tossing out because it had gotten pretty dirty. One of the issues with this kind of cream colored white throw rug is it shows all the rust that is falling out of the package tray, right in here. Really kind of need to clean this up. We haven't done much with it yet. What you are looking at back here is a piece of plywood, and it's pretty dark in here, and that piece of plywood is sitting on a metal frame. So nothing real sophisticated, just trying to make it somewhat usable for groceries and whatnot. One of the other little details we've done is we've added this milk crate back. In here we have our spares. I've got a funnel for some oil. This is a lug wrench. It's a really cool lug wrench. With that, I'll show it to you real quick. It also works as a breaker bar. There's a few different size sockets there. We've got tools and some spare parts in here, like a distributor cap, rotor. Got a quart of oil, a fan belt, a jack, some rusty jumper cables. We'll probably get new ones, but this is actually just a really good spot for it. The previous owner, Bruce, had this sitting in here, and so why not, right? Our project today, so we're going to get these headlights mounted, and I'll show you what we're doing. So basically, here's the back side, and I'll show you the front here in a minute. All right, this headlight assembly is held on with one bolt, a spacer, and these bent aluminum pieces that form an L shape so that the lip of the headlight assembly sits down on that. So here's the assembly before I take it apart. And if you look, there's a rubber piece here, that rubber piece is just kind of junk. That one's not even touching anything. And you know, there's this. And so what we're going to try to do is take these pieces that I got from Wolfsburg's West. Wolfsburg? I think that's how you pronounce it. And we're going to try to take this out and make it work. So far, I have cleaned the lens. I've wiped off the back with some WD-40. I've gotten one of these rubber pieces installed, but what I had to do was trim this piece because it doesn't fit in that hole quite perfectly. It's see if I can get that to stay there. The diameter is just too, it doesn't fit. So I'm using a knife, trimming it and getting it shoved in there. Okay, it took a little bit of fiddling, but I've gotten that adjuster, and that pivot point in there. And now I'm going to see if I can adjust the headlights. Okay, this thing has been way too fiddly. This tab that fits into here, I broke it off of this side. So I drilled an extra hole, put a screw in there, and fit it down through there. So now we are going to try to mount this headlight again. Okay, so this gets even more interesting. When I put this headlight up, that piece right there falls out. And so I took a spare piece of hardware and I've made a spike out of it, and we're going to try to stick it in there and see if that works. Okay, just setting the headlight in there, looking at it, it looks like the headlight's probably pointing down. Actually, it looks fairly straight, but I'm going to take a break and we're going to try to adjust that forward. Okay, I have pulled this car forward. And as you can see, we're not quite square in the garage, but we're not going to try to jockey this around. We're going to do some basic math and try to get this. So we're going to mark the center line, and then we'll mark the height of the headlight. All right, I have marked the center of the headlight from the center of the car. And as you can see, we got a target, which makes finding the center line really, really easy. Now we're going to back the car up. So what we've done is we've measured, put a tape measure out. We are 8 feet. We want the headlight to shine out 300 feet. So if we take 300 divided by 8, that's 37.5. If we take the 8 feet and divide that by 37.5, we basically come up with 1/4 of an inch. So ultimately, if it shines right on this spot, maybe a hair lower and a hair to the inside, we should be okay. So let's find out what it looks like. Okay, after fiddling with this thing for hours, it has been at least an hour, we got the headlight spot on. Look at that. Could probably come inside just a little bit, but I actually think it's pretty good. We're gonna kind of leave it like that till we take it on the road for nighttime. Let's work on the driver's side. All right, here's the headlights. We have one bright and one really dim. It's dim probably because I changed one and not the other, although I don't remember which one I changed. I thought I changed the one on the left, not on the one on the right. But anyways, we need a new headlight, but they're aimed somewhat better. Let's try the high beams here. Here's the high beams. They are, so that one is that one, and that headlight went out when I turned the high beam on. So maybe we'll mess around with that. And it came back on, probably in the wiring harness. So let's mess around with that for a moment. All right, so I pushed the wiring harness on a little bit better, and that seemed to help. Let's see what happens when we turn the high beams on. Well, that works. It works really well. I think we need to bend the bracket for the bottom one. Anyways, that's what we got happening here. Everybody, thank you for joining us. I'm gonna probably take this out for a spin later around dusk and see what the headlights look like. Ta-ta for now. It has been a solid week since I worked on getting the headlights so that they're adjustable and mounted correctly, and for the life of me, I can't get the time to actually test them at dusk or in the early evening, nighttime, because A, it's either been raining on the evenings I've been home, or B, work has been calling me in the late afternoon, evenings, or I'm going to work at 2 o'clock in the morning, and by the time the sun sets, I'm back in bed. So if at whatever point we drive this thing at night, I'll make certain to take a clip, because I know the headlights are going to need adjusted at some point. But yeah, so when we do that, we'll add it to the back of whatever video we're working on then. Next up, we are going to start welding the underside of the car, and yeah, that's what's coming. So Bondo Betty's gotten a welder, and we're going to put this thing on jack stands and get repairing all the rust on the underside, which if you watched episode 3 you will have seen. So thank you everyone who's paying attention, watching this. This car is an amazing find. Today's the last day of blue skies before we get another week of rain, so I'm out here just tooling around real quick before I have to go to work today. Ta-ta for now. See you in the next video.